Guys, imagine this. 30 years ago, in 1997, when the internet was still in its early days, some American cartoon writers created a regular episode featuring a football match with no year, no date, and no real reason given. On the screen, only two team names showed up: Portugal and Mexico. This was a time when Portugal wasn't seen as a global football powerhouse, and Mexico hadn't really made it to the finals of any big tournament. Reaching that point felt like a dream. Back then, Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't even a known name in the football world. In 1997, he was just 12 years old, learning the basics of football on a small Portuguese island. But now, as we stand on the brink of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, every social media platform online is buzzing with one big sensational question. Did Samsung really predict this final 3 decades ago? To really dive deep into it, first we need to understand why the world takes The Simpsons so seriously. So friends, this American show started back in December 1989 and has been airing continuously ever since, making it the longest-running animated series in the world. Over 750 episodes have been aired so far, covering thousands of different scenes, millions of dialogues, and countless topics. When we analyze such a massive amount of prepared material, so there's a basic rule in probability and statistics called the law of large numbers. Basically, it says that if you create a huge number of chances or instances of something, the likelihood automatically increases that a few of these events will surprisingly match real-life future events. That's why many of Simpsons' coincidences turned out to be so accurate that not just regular folks, but even experts were shocked. For example, in a 2000 episode, Donald Trump was shown becoming the President of America, which turned out to be true exactly 16 years later. Similarly, a 1998 episode showed Disney buying 21st Century Fox, and this deal became a reality in 2019. More than that, a 1995 episode imagined smartwatches and video calling, which were completely unheard of in the tech world back then. Because of all these examples, whenever this show hints at something about the future, people all over the world, they take it seriously. And now, all the attention has shifted to the Portugal versus Mexico match. Friends, if we take a closer look at this special episode, it was Season 9, Episode 5, which aired on November 2nd, 1997, titled The Cartridge Family. Interestingly, the whole episode wasn't really about football or any sports tournament. Instead, its main aim was to satirize gun control and the culture of weapons in American society. The story begins with a very ordinary. The scene unfolds where the Simpsons family is sitting in front of the TV. A sensational commercial is playing, featuring a passionate Latin American commentator, announcing loudly that this match will once and for all decide which nation is the greatest on this earth, Mexico or Portugal. Pictures of players from both teams flash on the screen. Then the scene shifts to Springfield Stadium, where bored spectators, tired of the slow pace of football, start arguing among themselves. Matches happen, but they never really go the way people expect. Now, the question is, why was it so strange to see Portugal and Mexico playing together in a match back in 1997? Well, if we talk about Portugal, their football wasn't all that great in 1997. After the 1986 World Cup, Portugal hadn't qualified for any FIFA World Cups and missed out on the 1990 and 1994 tournaments. By the time that episode aired, they had already missed out on qualifying for the 1998 World Cup. Portugal's team was seeing young talents like Luis Figo and Rui Costa coming up, but as a team, they still couldn't match up to top teams like Brazil, Germany, or Argentina. On the other hand, Mexico was strong within their region but had never managed to get past the quarterfinals on the world stage. So then the writers didn't go with traditional powerhouses like Brazil or Germany. Why did they choose only Portugal and Mexico, ignoring the other teams? Besides that, when we look at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, this tournament holds historic significance for several reasons. It'll be the first World Cup in football history to feature 48 teams instead of 32, and it will be jointly hosted by 3 countries: the USA, Canada, and Mexico. The final match is set to be played on July 19th, 2026 at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Got it. So, in this new format, 48 teams will be split into 12 groups, and after the group stage, the round of 32 will begin. Football experts ran the numbers on this draw system and found something really surprising. If Portugal and Mexico finish in certain positions in their groups, they won't face each other in the final stages of the tournament, but right at the start, in the round of 32. The chances of this round of 16 happening are pretty high. In other words, if you look at the mathematical principles, this matchup is definitely possible. But for it to actually be the final depends on a bunch of other teams winning or losing, and there's no guarantee that will happen. Plus, there are some hidden facts in all this that sensational headlines usually ignore. The first honest point is that in this scenario, Portugal and Mexico, he was never shown playing in a World Cup final. The actual episode never even mentioned the words World Cup or final. Instead, the commentator just said the match would decide who's the greatest. What's more, the match was happening at the local Springfield Stadium, which looked like just an ordinary exhibition game, not some big FIFA World Cup final. On social media, Sarfine labeled this regular match as the 2026 final to get attention on his videos. And friends, another important point in this episode is about Brazil's legendary footballer. A character dressed in yellow is shown standing in the center of the field, speaking and holding a big bag filled with money. This scene is actually a sharp jab at FIFA's commercialization and the growing corruption in the world of football. During the 1990s, FIFA was constantly accused of paying huge sums to big players to influence the game, and valuing money more than the spirit of the sport. The writers used cartoons to poke fun at this serious issue. It had nothing to do with Cristiano Ronaldo or any other future player. Instead, it was just a reflection of the tough situation at that time. Dear friends, in short, will Portugal and Mexico face each other in the 2026 World Cup? From a geographical and draw system perspective, it's definitely possible. But saying that cartoon writers back in 1997 knew this beforehand seems disconnected from reality. Now, about all these recent developments. So, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. If you liked the video and it helped you learn something new, please give it a like and share. Inshallah, we'll be back soon with a new video. Until then, take good care of yourselves.